Welcome back. This is Off by One, and this is a schedule selection system. For this demo, I've set this up as a calling system, but in the back of each of these buttons, I just have redstone links, and these could be placed anywhere. For example, you could hook this up to a stockpile switch, sending a train to deliver resources from a harvesting plant to a specific factory when its stock levels are getting low. That's certainly what I intend to do with this in my survivor world, once I save up the resources required to build all this. These stations/lines don't actually need to be anywhere near each other. It's just far easier to demonstrate this when they are. And just to be clear, each of these button presses is loading a new schedule onto a train. This isn't just one complicated schedule with loads and loads of redstone triggers. This might seem like an easy problem at first, however, it's harder than it initially appears. Okay, demo out of the way, let's crack on with the build. First up, we have the tracks, on which we've placed the station and observer. The observer should be placed on the tracks in such a way as to detect your train when it is waiting at this station. For my train design, this gap is fine. However, if you have a really compact train, you may need to position them side by side. The glass here is to help you work out the distance needed between the belts and blocks I'm about to place. It won't be part of the final contraption. So first up, next to the station, we have our feed belt, like so. And on the top here, we have our return belt. We also have a belt that is used to split the power between the upper half of the contraption and the lower half. You will also need a shaft here to transfer it through. Next up, we're going to place our smart chutes. You have one smart chute for each schedule that you want to filter. Beneath your smart chutes, you want to add your droppers. Dropper, rather. And your droppers should be facing down, so you probably need to dig into a block. Behind these, you want to place your redstone links, but you don't want your redstone links to interfere with anything that's here, and you don't want them to interfere with the chutes themselves. So what you can do is you can place a block on the back, like so. And then run your redstone links through that block. And that will allow you to power the dropper without interfering with the chutes. Next up, you're going to want to set your links to receive mode. You can do that by shift right clicking with an empty hand or right clicking with a wrench. You then want to add your channels to your links. I'm just using the wool colors here. And at this stage, you should also add your filters. Now, an important note on your filters, you must select this respect data option, as otherwise it won't be able to discern one schedule from the other. It'll think they're all the same. So if I want to add a filter for the yellow station, just add it like so, make sure that's ticked, hit the checkbox, there we go, there's our filter for yellow. And we can pop that in there like so. Grab another one here, let's grab pink. Pop pink in. Let's see what else we have. We also have blue. Pop blue in. And since I won't be using them for this demo, I'll just set these to a random block. In your version, you would set them to the filtered item. Okay, so at this stage, we also want to place our mechanical arm. And, oh, there it is there. So the mechanical arm should be placed against this here, like so. But first of all, you want to select the picking location, which is the train station. and the deposit location, which is this belt. You can then place that you can then place that here, without that, and there you go. So as this belt turns, it'll drive this large cog, which will drive this large cog, which will drive your mechanical arm. Next up, we need the belt logic circuit, which stops the mechanical arm from immediately picking up whichever item you happen to click. First off, we need to take the redstone signal out of this train station, and to do that we use an observer, or a content observer more specifically. Out of our content observer, we run a pulse repeater into this block, followed by a powered latch, and then similarly on this side, we want to run our pulse repeater again into another block. If you'd placed this one block further forward, you wouldn't need this block here, but in my design I did. The last thing that you need to add is a clutch. Aside from the power source, that is. The clutch goes in here like so, and then you just need a power source. Now, one thing to note is this must be turning anti-clockwise, so that your lower belts turn this way and your upper belt turns that way. Now, to test this out, we can insert some of the items that we actually created filters for. So this is our pink one. Let's pop pink in. This is our blue one. And this is yellow. So let's create a little test control center. I use that term very loosely. So when we click this, our item should drop out. Land on the station, which would flag a train if there was one here. And it should be put back in the one we expect it to. And there you have it. Now, you've noticed this has stopped. If we were to pick yellow again, it would spit it out and nothing would happen. And that's intentional. You don't want this to continue picking up items and storing them back if there's no train here to actually read them. So what happens is when a train arrives, it fires this observer, which will send a signal through here. It'll turn this off. A next item will come through. There's our yellow one again. It'll turn this back off and we'll be ready for the next one. Before we finish up, I just want to point out the schematic files linked in the video description. If this video has been in any way useful, please drop it a like or a comment. As you can see, this is still a very small channel and every little bit helps. I won't pester you to subscribe here, but do consider checking out my other videos. I try to upload at least every fortnight. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one.